Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Jonny Parsons. He is a UFC fighter, and it's fight week. And he's fighting this Saturday against Danny Roberts on the undercard of Tom Aspinall live at the O2. How does that sound, mate? Fighting at the O2 Arena.
Oh man, it's amazing. UFC they do a lot of fights in the Apex, but in the past the standard was you fight in an arena. So I'm super excited to be fighting at the O2.
Yes, of course. But of course, you was meant to fight Michael Gilmore, and I don't know because that was on. I think that was meant to be on the Bobby Green card, was it?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know who was headlining it, but unfortunately I had to pull out of that fight because of injury. But I'm healthy now and I'm ready to go.
That's good, mate. And of course, the first time I watched you was when you fought in the Dana White Contender Series when you got a split decision win against Solomon Retro.
Yeah, Solomon Renfro.
How do you feel that fight went, and how do you feel the fight went? And when it went to decision, did you feel like you did enough?
It was a close fight. You never know what the judges were looking at. I had a tough first round, but I definitely felt like I can control the striking in rounds 2, and especially round 3. I really pushed the pace on them, and
I think you won the last 2 rounds and lost the first. I think.
Yeah, and I agree with that. You can't just win a fight off of one takedown.
Yeah, exactly. Were you like when it went to decision? How confident were you? Confident that you did enough?
Yeah, well, when I heard it was split, um, I really started thinking that I took it. If you just never know, you never know how much those judges are gonna take that takedown and into account. But I think now more and more we're seeing that, if you're going to take someone down, you got to control them for a long time. And if you don't have them on the ground for very long, that you got to get some damage. And he didn't really do any damage with his takedown, and it wasn't really that long.
So he's kind of a wrestler, isn't he?
Um, I think he's actually more of a striker, but he wasn't having any luck with the striking, so he mixed in some takedowns.
And he wasn't having any luck with that either.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, mate. How much do you think you've improved since that fight?
I've definitely improved a lot. My striking's always improving, and when you're training MMA, I'm more of a Muay Thai fighter, but when you have to train MMA, you get a lot of wrestling in. So definitely since my wrestling's a lot better, and definitely my striking is a lot crispier.
That's good. Good to hear, mate. And of course, you've got so when you first started UFC, MMA or UFC, what was like the goal? What was the goal, to turn pro or just go down the Contender Series route, then fight on the big stage, like on the main stages live on at the O2 and arenas like that?
Yeah, I started I was just a 16-year-old kid trying to stay out of trouble, training, and I always dreamed of being in the UFC someday. And yeah, I just started training so young, and I just always been with it. I actually had my first pro fight in Thailand. I spent some time out there, and then got back to the States, and it's kind of just up and down, up and down. It's a tough road, and then
What's been
eventually,
your highlight win or just highlight fight for you?
man, I almost want to say that Contender Series win. Um, in 2015, I had a 30-second knockout over like an old school UFC vet, and that was pretty cool too. not many people know of this guy anymore because that's how old school he was. But this guy, Shoney Carter, he had about 100 fights, and it was maybe my like third pro fight. So it was an honor to be able to fight him, and you know,
What is that? The
some people
30-second
online,
knockout?
yeah,
What? And he had over 100 fights.
yeah. So he had a lot of experience, and he's a wrestler, judo black belt. So I was expecting the fight to go to the ground. I was mentally preparing for a 5-round war because it was for a title,
Oh
and
yeah,
then yeah,
30
just
seconds.
30 seconds.
Did you expect it to end that quickly?
No, I didn't. Like, really, I was expecting, I was like, all right, eventually he's gonna get a hold of me and he's gonna try to put me on the ground, and I just have to be ready to grapple. Really, I was mentally preparing to like grapple a lot, and
So
then,
you were going to try and wrestle the wrestler?
well, uh, more focused on the defensive grappling and wrestling part of it.
Yeah, yeah. That's good, mate. Of course, you've got so would you say that's your best knockout?
I don't know. I have 6 other knockouts. I think they're all pretty good, but
You're a bit of a knockout artist, mate.
yeah. There was another knockout I had in Mexico. It was a head kick knockout. I wasn't even trying to kick him in the head. I was trying to kick him in his arm, Muay Thai style, and the foot ended up just catching him right on the chin, and he started spinning and hit the ground.
Sometimes your legs go to the actual position to knock them out than what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's funny sometimes, like you're not meant to do it, and it's good.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times,
What's
there's
like the
been some
fight you
knockout.
tell people? Like people ask you, what's like the fight you would first tell people about?
Oh man, I'm not sure. I think a lot of times I tell people some stories of the Muay Thai fights I did in Thailand.
Yeah, yeah.
Just 'cause.
I bet you'll be telling everyone about this fight though.
Oh yeah, that's for sure, man. I'm so happy to be in London. It's been great so far. Yeah, man, I'm so excited to be out here. Fight week is always like a man, really, just in general, it's like a vacation. Honestly, it's like I've been fighting people all my life, so all I gotta do is fight someone, and I get a paid vacation, and they're gonna pay me. So man, this is a dream come true.
Yes, mate. And of course, are you going to? Is there like a press conference for you?
I'm not too sure, and if they did do a press conference, I think they would only do the main card.
Mm-hmm. Who've you got for the main event? Tom Aspinall.
I got Tom Aspinall, man. He's a phenomenal fighter.
And
I'm glad he's healthy again. I think he hurt his knee in his last fight, so
against
I'm glad he's
Blades.
healthy. Yeah, I'm glad he's healthy and ready to go.
Yeah, I reckon Tom should get the win.
Yeah.
What does it mean fighting on Tom's like sort of comeback fight?
Um. Yeah. It's definitely cool. You know, and in my career when I was fighting in the regional scene, I was always co-main event or main event. So it's cool to kind of be on the prelims because after I'm done fighting, I can enjoy the fights myself.
Yeah, yeah. So Danny Roberts, what are you expecting from Danny? And have you been studying? Do you study the fighters you're fighting like before the fight? Do you study like watch their fights and stuff, or do you leave
Yeah,
that to your coach?
no, I do a little bit of watching just to kind of know what to expect. But you know, sometimes videos they don't tell the whole truth. It's gonna be different. Once we're standing in front of each other. But yeah, I watched some tape on him, and I have an idea of how he's gonna fight. But you never know what they're gonna bring.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm ready for whatever he brings this Saturday.
What would it mean to you beating Danny Roberts, and what would it mean in your career in this stage of your career? Winning against Danny at the O2, a Brit at the O2. I mean, can't get much better than that, really, can it?
Yeah, it would be amazing, and and really would just mean a lot to my family. And it's really, with Contender Series and them signing so many fighters, um, it's a little different these days. It's actually a little bit easier to get into the UFC than to stay in the UFC. So, you know, um, I gotta make some moves. I gotta make some waves. I gotta be trending. I gotta be relevant. So I gotta go to the O2 and finish with a bang.
Are you excited that you're fighting at the O2?
Yeah, I hear I hear the crowd gets real rowdy, so I plan on harnessing that energy.
Hmm. So do you feel like you're going into the Lions Den, sort of, as he's the Brit, like he's from Britain and it's.
You know, yeah, a little bit, but it doesn't really affect me.
Have you got many people coming to support you? Like, have you got friends and family coming over?
Not too many people are coming, but going to people's hometown and you know wherever and beating them up is kind of what I do. So
Yeah, because I also can imagine you going to Thailand beating some of their lads as well.
yeah, and then being
You fight. You do you like fighting in people's backyards? Because like kind of win the crowd over.
yeah, and I feel like I've experienced that a lot, throughout my career.
Hmm. That's good. So are you gonna knock him out or you'll see come fight night?
Yeah, if that's definitely the plan. I'm not gonna force it, but I think I'm gonna land something that is eventually gonna hurt him, and once I smell blood, I'm going for the finish.
Exactly. Once you see blood, just go for it. Or if you sense it, it's going.
Yeah, that's correct.
But yes, what UFC fighters do you like look up to? Like, who do you look up
Oh,
to?
yeah, growing up, I really was a big fan of Jose Aldo.
Hmm.
Um, Man, he was real good. Anderson Silva, he was a real good fighter. Robbie Lawler, he recently retired.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I like Dan Hardy a lot too. Growing up, Dan Hardy was sick. I'm actually hoping I run into him. Um, while I'm out here, hopefully he's at the fight. I ran into him at a store in Las Vegas so many years ago when I was a young fighter and took a picture with him. So it'd be cool to get a follow-up picture.
Exactly, right. Yes. Of course, there's other fights coming up in the next couple of weeks. Of course, Dustin Poirier v Justin Gaethje, two American fighters. I'm sure you'll be watching that one. And if you have to pick one, mate, who would you go with?
Man, I'm going with Dustin.
Yeah, fair. I think Dustin. I'm going with. I like both of them. Fan of both of them. But yeah, I think repeat really.
Yeah, because Dustin won the first time, I believe.
He did, yeah. I think there's going to be a knockout in the first two rounds.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Actually, I got to check my email. I emailed UFC asking for tickets to that fight, so hopefully I get them.
Oh, fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. Because it's a great card as well. You've got another one is Alex Pereira v Blahovic. And
Yeah, I looked at that whole card. The whole card is amazing. That's what I was like, man, I should have asked for tickets sooner.
yeah, I know, mate. But once you beat oh, I forgot, how can I forget his name? Forgot
Danny Roberts?
Danny Roberts. I'm sure you should go to Dana, mate, and say I've just beaten this Brit in his backyard. What's the chances of me getting these tickets?
Yeah, yeah, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, who've you got for Blahovic v Alex Pereira?
Uh, that's an interesting one, and I think, man, that's a tough one to call. But I'm going for Alex. I feel like he's the underdog in that fight, and I like to root for the underdogs.
Hmm. Of course, with Alex Pereira, whether it's too soon since he got knocked out by Adesanya in his last fight, and my God, that was a good knockout. But whether he's taken this fight too soon after that defeat, that's what people, I think, look at, questioning whether he should take more time off, then go again. But what do you think? Do you think that defeat's going to affect him?
It shouldn't. I think only he knows how he feels. But if he's feeling okay and able to train, he's probably taken enough time off.
It wouldn't surprise me if Blachowicz knocks him out in early doors.
Yeah, I had that same feeling. John, he has pretty long reach, and Alex has a tendency to kind of keep his hands down a little bit. So, whether or not he knocked him out a few months ago,
but he's going up in weight as well, which could be a factor in the fight.
Yeah, I feel like that's a dangerous opponent either way.
I know. He's just got knocked out of middle, and then he's going up, which really they hit harder when they go up, don't they?
Yeah. So hopefully,
I fancy Blachowicz with that one.
Yeah, if Alex is going to do it, he's going to have to do it, use his speed.
Exactly. But with what else? I think Tony Ferguson's on that as well against Bobby Green, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. That's an interesting fight.
Because of course Tony's coming off. How many defeats is it now? 4?
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yeah. He didn't. Some of those crazy times where people were trying to tap him out and he didn't tap. I think that may have done some damage to his body. That's it's not going to
surprise me if Bobby beats him.
Yeah, I don't think Tony Ferguson is the same animal he used to be, and Bobby Green is healthy.
He's not going to hand those gloves up until he gets the. He wants to retire on a lease to win, doesn't he, Tony?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's going to be a tough fight for him, but.
But again, I to be honest, I fancy Bobby Green with that one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. What other fights are coming out? The Korean Zombie v Holloway, did I see?
Oh, no way. That sounds like it'll be exciting. I think Holloway will take it though. I don't know how focused Korean Zombie is, but Holloway's striking is really slick. Sometimes I feel like Korean Zombie only has a chance against people that are gonna brawl with him.
Yeah.
Korean Zombie, he can out brawl people, but I think Max is gonna be too technical.
Did you watch Volk v was it Rodriguez?
Yes, that was a great fight.
Yeah, that was a good fight. But did you watch what's it, Robert Whittaker v can't pronounce his name, the South African. Yeah, because he's fighting because that I thought Bobby Knuckles Robert Whittaker will be too much for Duplessis, but my word, I was wrong with that.
Yeah, Duplessis, he's interesting. He's big and strong, and sometimes he looks a little goofy when he's moving around. But man, do
you think he's got a chance against Adesanya?
I don't know. I really think Adesanya is going to make a highlight out of him.
Highlight knockout again.
Yeah, maybe Duplessis could grind his way, but I think the way he rushes forward, he's going to get frustrated with Adesanya's movement, and he's going to rush forward. And I think Adesanya is going to land a clean counter and put him down.
So you're saying Adesanya, what round, or do you just say Adesanya knockout?
Adesanya knockout. I'm thinking, round 2 or 3.
Yeah,
I think it's not going to take him much time to have him figured out.
that's fair enough. Of course, John Jones is also fighting Stipe.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I'm going with Jones.
Yeah, I think we all are after that Cyril Garn win.
Yeah, it's crazy because Stipe, for being a heavyweight, he doesn't have that long of a reach compared to other guys in his division, and I think Jones is just gonna be too slick everywhere for him.
I think John, because Stipe, in my opinion, he's not with it anymore. He's just, but so I
Yeah,
do believe John will get the better of him. But the main fight I'm looking forward to is your fight on the weekend.
yeah, thanks. Me too.
Yes, mate. And before I let you go, I've got a couple more things. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to get into UFC, MMA? Like anyone who wants to start doing it?
Um, my advice would be get into martial arts and get into training because you love it, because you love competition, and really get into it because you love it first, and stick with it. And if it pans out, it pans out. But it's tough. It's a tough road. There's so many people that dedicated their lives to fighting, put all their time and energy into it, and never made it to the big show. So really, when I go out there and fight, I'm doing it for all those people that work so hard but never got their chance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I would just say do it because you love it, and do your best to get as much experience as you can before you go pro. Fight a lot of amateur fights, get experience, grow as a fighter, and then just remember once you go pro, um, it changes things up. It's a big business. You have to promote yourself properly because that's what a lot of those people didn't do right. All those guys that worked hard and dedicated their lives to fighting, they
Mm-hmm.
were fighters, they were warriors, but they didn't do the managing and the promoting side, right.
Mm-hmm. And I forgot what else I was gonna say. Oh, I was gonna say, for anyone who hasn't watched you fight before, what can they expect from you come Saturday night?
um Man, they can expect a strong presence holding down the center of the octagon, um strong defense, and then a lot of Muay Thai strikes,
Mm-hmm.
elbows, knees, kicks, everything.
He's gonna be throwing elbows left, right, and centre and kicks.
Yes, sir.
Yes, mate. And um, before I let you go, do you want to just thank anyone who's helping you, just in general, camp, just anybody?
Man, I really like to thank Great Britain top team. I came here to check out the gym today and got some training in. This guy Banny, great guy, held some pads for me. So man, they were super welcoming here. The gym is beautiful. It's really clean. They have such a nice facility. I recommend anyone in the London area definitely check out Great Britain Top Team. It's ran by Brad Pickett, former UFC fighter, and he does a great job coaching his guys here. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely like to thank them.
And any one of your coaches or just anyone else?
Yeah, I like to thank my family, my coaches over at Syndicate, and then also, one of my striking coaches, Master Nick. His nickname is One Kick because he would knock people out with one kick. So he's been helping me out in my camp, and I can't thank him enough.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for your time as well, mate. I much appreciated it. And I'll be watching Saturday night, and wishing you all the best.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for having me on, and keep doing your thing.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, mate, and good luck.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Bye, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Will do. Take care.
Bye.